Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. Let's do another makeup updates. This is a series where I share my thoughts and mini reviews on recent purchases. There's an entire playlist. If you want to watch any of the ones that I've done in the past, I will link the entire playlist for you in the description box. But I really feel like although it is fun to try things on for the first time and have a first impression sort of video, I think it's really important to make sure that I check back with you and give you a full-on review after I've been using it for several weeks. Because at that point, it's something that I can definitely tell you yay or nay. And I feel like, or if it's not for me, who it might be good for. And I think it's one of those things that could be helpful. All right, I'm going to start with complexion today. Hello, Charlotte Tilbury. This is called the Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint Hydrating Foundation Stick. I never feel like I'm ever going to remember the full name because it's so long. I feel like most of Charlotte's formulas have really long names. This is the shade 01, but it is described as a ring light in a foundation stick. Now, I get that. I'm wearing this today, but if you rub it in, you'll see that it does have a really pretty glow to it. To me, it feels like the equivalent of the Flawless Filter, but in stick form. This is one of those products that I can't just slap on and not use something over the top to kind of mattify certain areas, because then my whole face looks like the Tin Man. The other claim this has is that it actually is buildable. I can't get this to build. The more I build, what I'm building is not pigment for coverage, I'm building glow. And I look more and more and more radioactive as I apply more and more layers of this. So I feel like if you like the glow that this offers, you know, put it on your face where you want the glow, or put it everywhere and then put a matte concealer over top on certain areas. For me, it's under the eyes, it's around the nose, even on the tip of my nose, as I don't really want that really bright glowy highlighted look on the tip of my nose, and then other places where I need concealing. But if I get too much of it, especially close to my cheeks right in through here, I feel like it really brings the texture out. So I put some concealer here and here, not because I need the coverage, but more just to matte down that glowy. And then I set areas of my face with the powder. Today I set my under eyes, my forehead, nose, and chin, but I did not set anything over here. And I feel like the shade that I ended up getting is another problem for me. The shade that I have works really well. It's shade 1.5. But in every other Charlotte Tilbury foundation I have shade number 1. And I've purchased shade number 1 in concealers before that work well for me. So for me, I feel like when I'm going to a brand, I want to know that they come out with a new formula. I already know what shade I am, but I want those shades to be consistent. And maybe what they need to do is to expand the shade range of the existing products. Maybe they want to come out with a new shade for their Beautiful Skin foundation, instead of coming out with something that, if this is the equivalent of shade 1, but they need something lighter, you know, shade 0.5 or shade 0 or shade 00. There are ways to expand the shade range. I don't know what you would do after that, maybe 000. I don't know. But I really feel like I want shade 1, if I know that shade is my shade in Charlotte Tilbury foundation, to be shade 1 in every other complexion product, and for it to work for me. So I feel like there's a little bit of a lack of consistency in the overall shade range, but I figured out how I like to use it, and actually I've been reaching for it a lot. I reach for it on days when I don't want a lot of coverage, when I do want a little bit of glow, when I'm planning on wearing cream and liquid products, because I feel like I lose the glow completely when I set the whole face with powder. If I'm wanting to wear powder blush, powder bronzer, powder highlight, I'll reach for a completely different product. But on the days I'm wearing liquids and creams on my cheeks, this is really easy to wear. I found that the best way to blend this in is with my fingers. I don't love that, but it really is the best way to do it. I feel like this is a good product for somebody who has normal to dry skin, maybe even someone who has combo skin, but their combo is like in their T-zone. If they're a little oilier in the T-zone, this would work for that. I would not recommend this for someone who has oily skin. Also, make sure that you're the sort of person who really does like a glow. It does bring a lot of glow to the face, and for me, the best way to blend it in is just with my fingers. I wish I didn't get streak marks when I used a brush. Maybe I've tried several different brushes. I find that when I use a damp sponge, it kind of picks it all up and all I'm left with is the reflective aspect of it. But it does work. I do like it. I feel like this is something that would be great for like the dead of winter when I feel like my skin really needs a little bit of a glow. Or right now in the summer when we're dealing with a little bit more warm temperatures and we all have a little bit of a natural glow. I've been loving this. This is new from Danessa Myricks. This is the Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer. This is in shade number 2. I picked up shade number 2 because that's the same shade that I wear in the skin tint. And guess what? This is almost identical to that. It's just a hair lighter, which is what I would expect from a concealer, but they both have the same undertone. They both look seamless together. And shade 2 is the lightest neutral shade. And that's the one that works for me. Shade number 1 is a fair cool shade, and the fair neutral is shade number 2. I really like not just the skin tint from Danessa Myricks, but I like this. Now, this claims to lift. I don't know that I'm getting lifting, but what I do get is the flexible part of it, where if I don't set it, and have been a couple of days where I haven't set this, and this actually doesn't settle into my crinkles instantly. Most concealers, even the ones that are supposed to not settle, even the ones that are supposed to self-set, I do find them kind of finding all of the fine lines. As I'm looking at my eyes right now, my under eyes especially, everything looks really good. And also where I have a really heavy crease right here, I don't find this settles into that area. There have been times, because I do use extra concealer around the corners of my nose to reduce redness, I will find products settling in the corners of my nose with other types of concealers, but not with this. I feel like this distributes on the face, and then as you move your face throughout the day, sometimes things can wear down. This doesn't. I really like this product. I am so glad I picked it up, and it's making me reach for the accompanying skin tint more often. And boy, they're beautiful together. I'll link for you the video where I show you the new highlight and bronzer from Lancome. When I recorded that video, they still weren't available in the US, and I have heard that you can pick these up now, especially the bronzer, but this is what they look like. This is from the Idol line. This is the CE Skin Transforming Bronzer and Highlight, and the C and E means vitamin C and vitamin E, so there's skincare in here. I have the shade 01 Fair in each of these. I'm wearing the bronzer today. I am wearing a different highlight, but what I love about the bronzer, here we have swatches, is that I cannot over apply it. I don't know what sort of magic it is. And for someone with fair skin who tends to go too quickly to like, oh my goodness, I look muddy from a bronzer, or it's too orange, or it's too much. I look like I just rubbed dirt on my face. Compared to other bronzers in my collection, this actually has kind of like a neutral, almost cool lean to it. So it's not as bronzy and warm, but I really like this. This brings color and light to my face without looking like I'm wearing a stripe of bronzer. Because I remember the days when I was trying to figure out how to get all of my cheek products, bronzer, blush, highlight, not to look like a stripe of Neapolitan ice cream, you know, chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. I didn't want it to look like that. And I think a lot of it was the products were either too pigmented or too dark for me. And I have discovered that my fair skin looks best in desaturated products. This one is beautiful. I've tried really hard to over apply, and I don't really feel like I can. That one's great. This one here, I feel like it has a little bit more of, I mean, it's a really pretty glow. It's not as highlighty as I expected it to be, but if my skin is not in really good, juicy, hydrated condition, because I do have crow's feet and fine lines here, this can accentuate it just a little bit. So what I really want to do and I should be doing this every day, but there are some days I'm like, I don't have time for that, is to put on a hydrating mask like out of the shower just to make sure my skin is really hydrated, and then 10 minutes later wash it off and then continue on with my skincare. And on days that I do that and I make sure I'm exfoliated, this sits beautifully on the skin. But on the days that I either forget to exfoliate or I don't have like all the hydrating products on, but that's true for most powders. Most powders don't look good. This one, the bronzer, looks good all the time. And this one, because it does have those mica particles in there, those reflective qualities, I need to make sure my skin's in like super great condition, which is why I'm opting for less powder products for highlight these days and more cream and liquids. Speaking of a cream highlight, I ended up getting the Artistique highlight from Surratt. This one here is the shade Lame, and let me give you a little swatch of this. Lame is right up here across the top. It is a very pale gold. It is what I'm wearing today. I find this is a little bit harder to use, and maybe I'm not using it with the right products, or maybe I'm not applying it correctly. I feel like it can eat through any type of, if I set my under eyes and I'm placing this down and I hit any bit of the powder where I'm setting my under eyes, that powder disappears. It is a kind of like a liquid product. I don't dare use like this. I don't know. And I find that when I like draw it across my hand, it doesn't work as well. So I'll, twist it up. I'll take the product off this way, disperse it between fingers, and then tap it on. And I'm really trying to be as gentle as possible because I don't want to pick up any foundation, concealer, powder that I have down right here on my cheekbones. And when I get it, it's okay. Is it my favorite? No. I like the Lancome better. There are certainly other ones that I really love, like I love the one from KJH brand. I also really love the powder highlight, oddly enough, from RMS, their Hydra powder. That one's really good. There are definitely a ton of other highlights that I would reach for above this. I picked it up because Surratt was having their 20% off sale and I wanted to try some products. It's okay. It's not my favorite in the collection. And this is not one that I would say for the price, it's so good you needs must have it. I really wanted to love this. It's not bad, but I don't know that it makes me want to go and buy more liquid products from Surratt at that price point. Despite the fact that I got it at 20% off, I'm still not sure that I have to have more of those products that come in those crank up, like they have a liquid blush and they have this. I don't need any more. That's kind of where I'm at. Is it bad? No. Will I use it? Yeah. Is it my favorite? What I have been loving from Surratt is this. This right here is their Beyond Beige eyeshadow quad. Oh, okay. I'm wearing this today. This is the prettiest, easiest, like stupid easy eyeshadow palette. I'm not actually wearing any eyeliner today. What I'm wearing is this shade here with an eyeliner brush just kind of really shoved into the lash line and a little bit smoked out. I feel like this is really versatile. This is the quad that I reach for when I want something that's understated, because these shades, they're beautiful, but they're very basic. This taupey shade here is perfect. This shade here is more of a satin and less of a metallic. This one though, this shade here is my favorite because it looks like a really beautiful, slightly sheen of a metallic, but it is a beautiful warm brown. The rest of the shades are lovely, but I really feel like, and it's hard to see them, this one is close to my skin tone and this one basically is my skin tone, but it's this shade here that makes this palette remarkable. Now, would I tell you to go out and get the palette just for that one shade? No, but I think they sell them as singles. I really like it, and that's what's giving me this really pretty warm glow here where it's not too much and it's just enough. So if you like a more understated, and you could certainly use it as like a one and done eyeshadow, but I'm wearing all 4 colors today. I really like this. They're super easy to wear. This is really mature eye friendly if you are dealing with texture on your lids, but I do find this works best on the days that I'm wearing an eyeshadow primer, on the days that I use natural hair brushes. I don't like the application as much with synthetic brushes, so that's something to keep in mind. You might appreciate the overall look just a little bit better. And I know it seems weird that, shouldn't eyeshadow just go on however eyeshadow should with a brush? But I find that whether I'm using natural hair brushes or synthetic brushes, some formulas lean more towards one way or the other. So here is another product that I picked up. I got this on sale. This is from WhatsUp Beauty. They were having a sale, and this was so heavily discounted. This is their Desert Monsoon palette. It was just over $16. Look at this. All right, so I love this. And I know you're looking at it going, wait, Are those really your shades? The ones that I'm not wearing are the blues, the purples, and this pink shade here. I have worn the greens, but I have been living like in these shades here. Love this pinky shade here and these guys here. Like if you take out the bright colors, I am so happy, so happy. But the greens are really pretty too. For me, what I love about, and I'm wearing this shade here, this is the lightest shade in the palette today. I have this, look at how pretty that is. I have this tapped like very lightly right here because I didn't want this to be too over the top. I wanted just a little bit more glow than I was getting from the Surratt. This palette is so much fun. This shade right here is one of my favorites. It's kind of like a duochrome pink shade. It's so pretty. And the greens are very lovely. So one flashes more like a chartreusey yellow and the other one's kind of like a slightly shimmery, satiny metallic green. This palette is fabulous. Now, if you do like the purples and you do like the, pinks, like, because this shade here, this one's called Downpour. Look how pretty that is. I just don't wear shades like this. It's such a pretty purpley blue shade. It's like a blurple. I mean, they're stunning. And I got it on sale for $16. I have really loved the other eyeshadow palette that I have from WhatsUp Beauty. I have the Dragon's Eye. My favorite thing from them are their eye brushes. Oh my goodness. I have both sets. They sent them to me in PR and I use these every single day. I love these so much, so much. I feel like the set, you get 6 in each set. One is for more detailed work and one is for more like just overall eyeshadow work. They're made out of white goat hair. They're cruelty free. They collect the hairs from the goats and the goats go on to live a very happy, healthy life continuing. I don't know if it's like a goat hair farm where they're just keeping the goats around for the hair. I don't know. Whatever it is, these goats are still, around after the brushes have been made, and I love that. But for me, it's the quality of this is surprising. The brushes are surprising. It's a great indie brand. If you have not tried WhatsUp Beauty, I think you'd really like it. And they don't just do makeup. They have skincare. They started out, I think, as a nail company. Because I remember like more than a decade ago when I was really into doing my nails, I remember coming across their website for stamping and for different types of nail polishes and fun little doodads to put on your nails. And the truth is, I like now that we're getting into the makeup and that their indie makeup is just so beautiful. So beautiful. Been loving this. Here is something that, although I like the formula, I think I might have gotten a shade that was too bold. This is Merit's Flush Balm, and I have their new shade in Rouge. Oh my goodness, it's such a pretty shade. I'm wearing it today, but I have to be so careful with this because it is a lot more than I thought. A lot more than I thought. I normally will pick it up on a brush because the minute I straight to my face, guess what happens? It disturbs everything I have down already. So gone would be my Charlotte Tilbury, gone would be the powder that I have down or any Danessa Myricks concealer. Like everything would be gone because it's called a balm. So it's very emollient. It's very dewy. It's so pretty. So I find that this works best, and you can see kind of like the glow on this. There is that kind of glossy glow, but I like it best when I either scribble it on the back of my hand and pick it up with a brush or tap it on like this with my fingers. But if I put on any more of this, because look at how pigmented this is compared to my skin. Your girl does not need any more blush right now, so I'm not going to put any on, but it's very easy to just, pick some up with my fingers and then just kind of like tap it in. And I don't want a lot of flush. I want just a little bit. And this is actually a very, very pretty shade, but I have to be so careful with it. I prefer the shade Cheeky, and I think I have the shade Fox. Fox is a beautiful kind of a warm blush, and the other one is more of kind of like that mid-tone pink that's going to look good on a lot of people. But I really do like the formula. It took me a while to figure out that I can't just do this, that I need a synthetic brush, but synthetic brush in this works beautiful, and they're just really pretty, and I like them a lot. Down just to lips. So Glossier came out with new lip liners and a pencil sharpener. So this pencil sharpener is $8. I wanted something that held all of the shavings, it would be easy to empty, because I have been living for years with little pencil sharpeners like this, you know. Fine, they're great, they do a good job. They come in all of my, you know, I got one from Makeup by Mario, Pat McGrath, Lisa Eldridge, like you can find them all over the place, and they're really good sharpeners. But I wanted something where I didn't have to worry about finding little pieces of color on the floor, you know, from the shavings, or finding shavings everywhere. So this is one of those things that it's worth the $8 for me. It's a German-made sharpener. This thing sharpens beautifully. So have been loving, totally recommend. And I know I've seen other people who sell this. This one is just branded by Glossier because I've seen this exact design someplace else. But it's easy to find because now I know where to get it. But you don't have to get the Glossier one. I think they're, you know, probably all made the same, and Glossier is like, let's put a G on there and sell it. But I'm glad they did, because your girl needed a new pencil sharpener. But these liners are really nice. I like these a lot. So I have two shades. These are the shades famously that are made to look like the shades of people's nipples. This more brown shade here is called Buff. This kind of cooler mauve tone is called Bit. These are really nice. If you're going to the gondola at Sephora to find your shade, I think that you're gonna find a lot of really usable shades for a wide range of skin tones. I like that. But the one thing they don't have any brights. There's no pink, there's no red, there's no burgundy. So don't expect to find those there. I think there are 8 shades of these. These are so lovely. And I feel like these 2 shades are the sorts of shades that I reach for all the time. I want a nude, I want a mauve. And these are really nice. I also picked up 2 of the ones from Maybelline. These are the lifter liners, and guess what? A nude and a mauve. I picked these up at my local Ulta. I think they're around $10 a piece. This is shade number 5. This is shade number 6. I feel like there is more of a cool tone lean here to the one from Glossier, and a more kind of neutrally pink tone to the one from Maybelline. The one in number 5 is a little bit darker than this, but I really like these. I have been using these in tandem, where I will line my lips completely and fill in with kind of like this more mauve number 6 shade. And then I'll take the number 5 shade and I'll just hit like right here at the Cupid's bow and a little bit down here. And then I throw a clear gloss over the top. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's a great combo. I do that with this too, but these are kind of slightly newer, but I need to quit buying the same shades, because I also picked up an artist liner from Makeup Forever, and this is the shade Wherever Walnut. And guess what? Oh my goodness. They're all related. But these are the sort of liners that I can use. If I want a slightly darker liner, I'll go for one of these more kind of caramely toned ones. If I want something that has a little bit more pink and life to it, I'll go for one of the pinker ones. And this one here, unlike the other ones, this one continues to be kind of soft and blendable. That's what I like about it, because sometimes I want a lip liner that's not going to dry down and feel like cement on my lips, because some of the gel liners, when they dry, they don't go anywhere, but it's also a little bit more like trying on the lips. And these guys, they don't really smudge. I feel like you get a little bit more smudge with the ones from Glossier, but they hold tight pretty well. These Maybelline lifter glosses are really great, but the feel of this is so creamy, this is so beautiful. No wonder everybody loves these artist liners. It's been a while since I've had one. I'm glad I picked this one up. Now I want Anywhere Caffeine. That's the one that I want next. But there's so many beautiful shades in this. What's your favorite? If you use the ones from Makeup Forever, what is your favorite shade? All I have left for you are kind of glossy lip balms. It's kind of what I default to in the summertime, kind of like a sheer lipstick type, has a little bit of color, not too much. I can throw it on without a mirror. It doesn't need a liner. It looks great with a liner if I decide to pair them together. That's what these 4 are. I got these because I was trying an entire range of balms for my big lip balm video. I'll link that in the description bar down below. If you have a love affair with lip balms, I have more than 30 of them in that video. But let me start with the one I'm wearing right now. This right here is the Love Shine Glow Butter Balm from YSL. I love this. This is the shade 6B. Look how beautiful. It's not too much. It's just enough, slightly shiny, still sheer. This is like about 3 to 4 passes. It is beautiful. It's so easy to put on. This is one that I can put on without needing to use a mirror, and I love that. And I haven't had it that long, like maybe 4 or 5 weeks, and look at, it's like almost half gone. I have been going through this. This lives in my pocket. This goes in my purse. Love, 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 love. This is one of those. It does have that sweet kind of mango YSL lipstick shade. I find that it's not as soft as the Candy Glaze, and it's not quite as emollient as the new Love Shine, the ones that replace the Rouge Volupté Shine, the oil and stick formula. This is beautiful. I feel like this might be my perfect formula. The one thing that's kind of a bummer is I don't know if there are 6 or 8 shades of this formula, but they all have a pH adjuster in them. Now, I don't find that this turns like that really bright fuchsia hot pink, but I have seen some of the other shades that they have that are more pink leaning, and they do. And I'm like, oh, and every time I put on something that's a pH adjuster, some people get a really pretty flush of pink. Mine turns into like 1987 pink. Okay, so I don't like that, which is why initially when these came out, I was like, they look beautiful, but they have a pH adjuster, so that's a no for me. And finally, I was just too curious I had to know. And she's beautiful, and it does stay kind of like this nudie brown shade. And I love the formula. I love the ease of application. Fantastic. Here's one that I should actually pull more for. This is from Bare Minerals. This is their Dewy Lip Balm. This is in the shade Affection. This is multiple passes. It's kind of like a sheer glowy. I feel like it has just a little bit more shine than the one from YSL. These are really affordable. They're in the $20 range, where Lil Miss YSL is $40. It's the least expensive of the ones that come in this packaging. I think the Candy Glaze is $42, and the Love Shine, the new ones that replace the Rouge Volupté Shine, those are $45. So bougie, more affordable, but still high end. Very nice, very nourishing on the lips. The one that was kind of a disappointment to me, and I was like, oh, and I don't know if I got the wrong shade, is this. This is the new Lip Oil Balm from Clarins. I love my Clarins lip oil, like really love it. We're almost out. And I was hoping that this right here, this is the shade 04 Almond, would be exactly what I was looking for. So it's extremely sheer. I feel like I might have liked this better had I gotten like one of the pinks or the cherry shade. And I do have a sample of the cherry shade, and I like it much better than this, but I still feel like, because this is very glossy, it has more of that slick, slippy feel to it. It does find the lines and travel. I don't find that these guys really go outside of my lip line egregiously. There is a little bit of that because they're all glossy balms, and I have almost 50-year-old lips with the fine lines everywhere. So part of it is age, and part of it is this formula is not like a matte, okay? So 1 + 1 = lines everywhere, but that's okay. And it's not really bad, the first two, but this one here is, and I'm so grateful that it is a really light, barely there sort of lip product, because if it was the red, I would have problems. This is one that I'll finish up, but I won't repurchase. There's also, I don't know what the scent is. It feels very different than the scent on the lip oils. The lip oils smell a little bit sweeter. They smell a little bit more gourmand. And this one, I don't know what it is. It smells slightly waxy and just a hint sweet. So I don't love this. I also don't know that I love the packaging. It feels like it's maybe one step up from something I would get at the drugstore, and that's not what I'm looking for. So the last one I have for you is the new Idole Squalane Butter Glow from Lancome. Man, these are beautiful. This right here is the shade Lisa's Coral Glow. I love this. This is actually more opaque than the rest of these, and this doesn't really travel outside of my lip line. I do pair it occasionally with a lip liner, but I don't have to. And it gives just enough color to the lips without being too much. I really like this formula. Okay. I was just saying how this feels like it's, you know, just one step up from the drugstore. I feel like this is a little bit different, even though we still have the plastic cap. The one thing I don't like are these little notches here that line up with the notches on here. It reminds me very much of the L'Oreal lipsticks. Any sort of L'Oreal lip product always has that little notch in the front that you have to line up to get the cap on, and the cap's kind of at a slanted angle, and I don't know how many times I thought that I had the cap on and I didn't click it all the way, and then I drop it in my purse and disaster. But the reason I say that is because L'Oreal is the parent company to Lancome, so I'm kind of not surprised, but I wish they hadn't done that. The other thing that's different about this is I've been buying Lancome lipsticks for more than 30 years. And I recall the scent of a Lancome lipstick. This is the first time. This smells slightly sweet mint, whereas all the other ones have the Lancome rose scent to them. The L'Absolu Rouge lipsticks, I'm so glad they're finally moving away from that, because although it is nostalgic for me, I feel like it's more than time. It's time to let that rose scent go, and not to put it in everything. And if you're going to put a scent in there, something that people like these days. If you don't like mint, you wouldn't like this, but I really like the formula of this. I like that it doesn't instantly find all of my lines. I feel like every single one of these, because they are kind of like a glossy sort of balm situation, I do need to do a little bit of a occasional check-in, look in the mirror and go, yeah, okay, we're good. But normally, except for the one from Clarins, I don't find that these go places. I think they've been really good purchases. I love the one from Lancome, and I am obsessed with the one from YSL. Thank you so much for watching today. I would love to know, what new things are you trying? They don't have to be new releases, just things that you've recently added to your collection that is new. Or if you're on a no-buy, tell me what your strategies are for not picking up new things, because obviously I've been picking up a lot. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check the description bar for those other videos that I mentioned. And I'll also link all of these products down there. Just keep in mind they are affiliate links. It's a great way to support my channel without having to pay any extra. You can use them or not. It's up to you. Thank you so much for watching today. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon.